What a week it has been for Barcelona as they draw Manchester United in the next round of Europa League and a historic win in Pamplona. Aniket, what a game it has been. Barcelona, for the first time in the entire history of La Liga, having one man down, losing away from home, makes a comeback to win against Osasuna 2-1. Welcome to the Forza Barça podcast. We are Shubham and Aniket. And Aniket, what a game we have to discuss today.
What a win indeed, Shubham. It was amazing to see Barcelona rising back in the second half with its 1-0 down and a series of controversial decisions. Lewandowski got sent back in 30th minute, given the red card by the referee Gil Manzano. And what an incredible goal by the duo Frankie de Jong and Raphinha in the 85th minute. Amazing game. We have to discuss a lot in this podcast. We will be back with Manchester United later in this podcast as we got that team for the Europa League this season. But let's just discuss a little bit more about the Osasuna game for now. Let's just discuss the lineups. So there was one change in the last lineup against Almeria. It was Christensen who got back from the injuries in the defense line. Rest all the team was almost same. Let me just run down the players which played in the match against Osasuna. Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, Dembele were in attack. Pedri, Busquets, Frankie de Jong were our midfielders. Alba, Alonso, Christensen and Balde were in defensive line, whereas Marc-Andre Ter Stegen started the game.
Yeah. What a controversial game it has been, truly. But starting from, fifth minute where there was a big blunder by Busquets as he, makes a misjudgment in the receiving of the ball, leaks the ball to Osasuna number 7, Moncayola, who passes on the right to Ruben Garcia. Ruben Garcia takes the shot, blocked by Alonso. What an immense block that has been, and that shows how Alonso has been solid in the Barca lineup or Barca defense since he came up. But unfortunately, corner to Osasuna.
The corner turned into a goal. What a shame! This has been a set piece goal, and Barcelona are not good in defending the set piece goals. 6 minutes, same corner. Unai Garcia banks Alonso in a rugby fashion. No VAR assist by the referee. There was nothing to be done by the referee there. Osasuna finds it easy with two Barca players lying on the pitch, heads the ball in, goal, Barcelona trailing the game 1-0. What a shame that we have been talking this in this podcast a lot, but if there is a VAR, why don't we even go and ask its help? I mean, I'm speechless about this.
Yeah. I think terrible start from Gil Manzano. He has been a terrible referee in the past for Barcelona when it comes from Barcelona's perspective. And they started the cycle of controversies. I remember Alonso said after mentioned it to the post match conference to one of the reporters, saying that if this is not a foul, I don't know what is, and which is true. I cannot believe how is that how is it possible for any referee, because if it happens so close to the goal, because then you don't have just one referee, you have like the sideline referee who is watching that, and he has a responsibility to wave his flag and tell Gil Manzano that it's a foul. It was a clear foul. I have never had a look on clearer foul than this one, but unfortunately no VAR taken by Gil Manzano, and 1-0 to Osasuna. And then second controversial decision from Gil Manzano came. Actually, it was not that controversial because 30 minutes in, Lewandowski, as you mentioned, got sent off. He was already on a yellow card, and then Lewandowski tries to win an air duel, commits a foul. I think it was a clear foul, to be honest, because he was looking at. So when the ball was in air, he was looking at. I don't remember. It was either. I think I think Ruben Garcia itself or number five, because Ruben Garcia is number four, just number four. I think it was number five, another Garcia. I think he was, I don't remember which. Let me check. I think it was David Garcia or something. I am not sure. He
Mhm.
looks at him and, clearly stamps him with his elbow, a clear foul, a second yellow card, unfortunately, turned into a red card. But then the controversy starts as Lewandowski makes a gesture, touching his nose, completely in disbelief, as the whole Barca camp was in disbelief. Uh, you know, uh, and then some people say that this gesture makes an implication of drug use, like the referee is on drugs, so that he is giving him a red card. But then he clarified that this gesture was not for the ref. Instead, it was for Xavi, because Xavi had mentioned to Lewandowski that if he is on a yellow card, he should be more cautious and uh, more careful of what's happening. And then I think he was mentioning it to referee, sorry, to Xavi, that he was right. But unfortunately, uh, because of his gesture, there is a possibility of Lewandowski being banned for 4 games, which is a big loss for Barcelona.
So I'm quite sure that he pointed it towards Xavi, not the referee. I'm quite sure about that. So moving on towards the next important statistic, which I just want to mention over here, is that referee Gil Manzano, he has shown red cards to Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and Lewandowski. So I think he has shown red card to almost all Barcelona forwards within past years, and Lewandowski was his new bait this year.
Yeah.
And
And I
in the
mean,
fourth,
Suarez and Neymar, you can understand getting red cards, but
yeah,
Messi and Lewandowski are not that kind of players to get red cards and to get sent off. I think it
and
was.
mind you, he's the only one referee to do so. Like
Hmm.
none other referee has done it.
Yeah,
So,
I think this red card was Lewandowski's first red card after 2013 or something, if I'm not wrong.
mm.
I could be wrong on the statistics, so please, if anyone is watching or listening to us, please comment if I'm wrong. But that's what I'm remembering.
So in the 44th minute, great cross from Jordi Alba to Ferran Torres. He just tapped the ball in, but unfortunately, the goal was ruled out as Ferran Torres was offside. But this goal made me think that Jordi Alba is finally coming back to his own form, to his old form actually. So that makes me a little bit happy. But Ferran Torres being offside makes me a little bit sad as well. So it's win and lose situation, but 10-man Barca still losing the game, going in halftime 1-0.
Yeah. By the halftime, I mean, Aniket, I remember we were furious. We were furious on what's happening with the team. We were furious with Xavi. Of course, we were not
Yeah.
as furious as some Twitter fans or fans on
Yeah.
Twitter who even had started trending Xavi out, which I think it's clearly
Well, what
uncalled
I
for.
sorry to interrupt you, but what I thought with this match is we were getting those chances. It was just that we were not making or converting those chances into goals. Like we had ample amount of shots in first half as well, but we were not able to convert that. So if the conversion is clinical, if there would have been Lewandowski on the pitch, the scenario would have been different. And to add on, we were 10 men in the 30th minute. So I think it was a pretty good game for Barcelona, but well, there is no space for mistakes. Mistake is a mistake, and we should be uh, we should acknowledge the fact that we committed some mistakes in this game as well.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you partly, though, because I think to begin with, it was going to be a hard game because Osasuna this season, they have been doing really well. I think before the game, they were sitting fifth in La Liga.
Mm,
So, and like, when you talked about their games against big teams, they traveled away to Bernabeu and drew 1-1, in which they
mm,
were like the dominant team of the two teams. And even in this team, I think Barca suffered in the aspect of because they pressure quite a lot. And when the
Yeah.
pressing is, quite a lot, and when you have Busquets, it's it's not like the best match that you will find, And this is the point which I want to discuss with you, Aniket, and we will discuss it maybe when the time comes when Gavi came in to play as a center midfielder. I don't understand why, because we have clearly established this that Xavi is not playing favoritism, because this
Mm.
is what we see from PK. PK is
Mm.
also one of his, was one of his, because he retired, was one of his teammates when they used to play for Barcelona. Jordi Alba was one of the teammates when he was a Barcelona captain. Same with Busquets. So clearly, Jordi Alba fell down the pecking order when it came to Balde, and now Jordi Alba is playing because he's playing good, not because he's
Mm.
just he's there. Same with
Yeah.
PK. PK was told like you wouldn't start a game, and he didn't, and that's
Yeah.
one of the majority major reasons that PK retired. So
Mm. Mm.
clearly, Xavi is not playing favoritism. But what's restricting him from going bold and playing like Frankie De Jong, Pedri, and a Gavi midfield? Because I think that's what we need. I'm really shocked, to see what's happening with Barcelona right now. Because when we talked about, like, literally the first thing that we discussed, we started about this game, the analysis started with how Busquets made a blunder under
Mm.
pressure,
Mm.
which directly led to a goal. Because if you look at it, if he hadn't made that blunder, there wouldn't be that shot, there wouldn't be that corner, there wouldn't be that foul, and there wouldn't be that goal. So
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
series, the domino effect started with Busquets. So you need your captain, the pivot, which is like the most important play in when you look at Barcelona's playing style. Why is still Busquets playing? Because there are numerous reports suggesting that uh, Frankie De Jong is reaching that level, and Xavi is uh, happy, like more than happy with that role. So it's a mystery why Busquets is still playing. And as you mentioned, Barcelona, yeah, I mean, they struggled till halftime, 1-0 down, losing, with 10 men.
Yep.
Then literally 2 minutes later, I think they had a productive session in the halftime. 2 minutes later, same. I wouldn't say same, but similar kind of tactic from Jordi Alba, as you mentioned. Like maybe he's coming back and he's playing at that level. Jordi Alba gets the ball from De Jong on the left wing, finds Ferran taking a run, crosses to him. A great run from Ferran, because he actually not great, a smart run from Ferran, because he drags both the centre backs, number 4 and number 5, the Garcias of Osasuna, with him, and cheekily giving the pass to Pedri, who is taking that run from that typical center attacking midfield position, camp position that we absolutely love, and we have discussed this on this podcast like a million times. Pedri finds the ball, first touch, goal. I think 18, 19%, even less, I
Yep.
think. I don't remember. Goal probability. Amazing goal. Barca equalize, you know, all
And
set.
Shubham, that is what I like about Ferran Torres when he plays that role. And this time, as you said, he dragged both the center backs. He made a vacuum there in which Pedri could just fit in to shoot the ball. That was really amazing, smart run from Ferran Torres. And I have been talking about this, his positioning in the game. And this is what I think sets a great example, like what he could do when he's at his best. And yeah, it led us to goal, the first one,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's true. A really good game from Ferran Torres. I mean, he really bad or really unfortunate for him that he couldn't score. Because
Mm,
the one that you mentioned in just before halftime, he could have easily scored. Probably he was
yeah.
inches offside, so not that offside, that much offside. And I think he's taking that role of playing a second striker, and with
Mm,
Lewandowski sent off and Memphis not there, Ansu Fati
yeah.
still hadn't come. He can fill the void of that striker, winger, second striker, center forward kind of a mixed position. So a great game from Ferran Torres. Yep.
Yeah.
And after Barca equalized, there were like, of course, a couple of chances from Osasuna, but an interesting one came at 69th minute. An interesting minute, to be honest.
Yeah.
From the left wing. Uh, Also, I don't remember what player that was actually. I think he tried to cross the ball, but somehow his cross was misplaced, and it was almost going in the in the goal post. Ter
Yeah.
Stegen finding his feet somehow, fingertip
Yeah.
save in the end, because you can easily concede these goals, and then 2-1, and then the whole momentum shifts towards opposition team, because anyway Barca
True.
were trailing in terms of men, because they were like had 10 men. So
Yeah.
great game from Ter Stegen as well, just to mention.
When that shot was shot by that player from the left wing, yeah, it was left wing, right?
Yeah,
So I was a little bit scared because that almost looked that it was going inside the goal post,
yeah.
but amazing save from Ter Stegen. As you said, it was a fingertip save. He just pushed it with his fingers.
Mm.
Man, it gave me a sigh of relief that it's not a goal and we are not again trailing the game.
Yeah.
In the 74th and 78th minute, there were a couple of substitutions. The first one was Gavi was brought on for Christensen. That would directly imply that Frankie de Jong would be playing the center back role, and the formation would be 4-4-1 again. And in the 78th minute, Ferran Torres was replaced by Ansu Fati, and Raphinha came in for Dembele. So these were the three substitutions in 74th and 78th minute. Interesting sets of substitution. Uh, Most amazing was Frankie de Jong getting that centre back role again. So that was quite surprising to me, but it looked that it played well. His tactics really gave us some fruits in this game. So quite happy about that as well.
Indeed.
And I think it was 84th or 85th minute. Xavi's tactic, came into play when Frankie de Jong from that centre back position gave an amazing feeder to Raphinha, and Raphinha heads the ball impeccably into the goal post, and Barcelona leading the game 2-1. It was so beautiful, the goal to watch. Frankie, all credit here goes to Frankie de Jong and almost Raphinha to finish that. But the ball landed onto Raphinha's head so perfectly that he just had to touch it. Of course, it was a skillful touch. If I go there and if I touch it the same way, it won't be goal. So I have to give credits to Raphinha. It was a skillful touch, but indeed an amazing loft ball from Frankie de Jong from the centre back position. Boom, goal, Barcelona leading the game 2-1. I was so happy when this goal got through.
Indeed, man. It was like a proper pitch perfect golazo, because, first of all, as you mentioned, a pitch perfect ball, a lob, but a perfect lob that was from Frankie de Jong.
Yeah,
He knew all along
yeah.
what he was doing. It was not, a random try where you just, when you just, pass long just to do something because it's the last 10 minutes happening and you need to do something. No, it was like, something productive. He wanted to create something. And it's hard because he was literally the last man, actually, first man to start that attack, because he was at the back. Just
Yeah,
only Ter Stegen
yeah,
was, standing behind him. So that takes, first of all, guts to find Rafinha. Second thing,
yeah.
Rafinha's run was another example of how you break an offside trap, because
Hmm.
literally everyone,
Hmm.
all those Osasuna defenders clearly played an offside trap, but Rafinha, too smart for that offside trap, broke it easily and headed it like a chip header into the goal over the top of the goalkeeper. Wow. It's like goal of the season candidate from Rafinha. What a goal. And the exquisite thing about this goal is the timing that it came at. Because you
Yeah,
can easily score these kind of goals
actually,
when it's you're leading 3-0, 4-0. But when it's
Yeah.
1-1, one man down, and you have one chance, and you talk about that super sub and quick impact. He came 6 minutes, as you mentioned, 6 minutes ago. 6 minutes ago. So, brilliant. That reminded me of, you remember, Aniket, Luke de Jong used to come in the last minute to head those goals inside the net of
Yeah.
Barcelona, not
Yeah.
Barcelona, the opposition to score for Barcelona. Brilliant stuff from Raphinha. And, just to mention one more thing, my bad. He scored not scored. He assisted the last minute winner against Valencia to give Lewandowski the chance to score. Literally 93rd minute, as we had like podcast show. If you were interested in that analysis, please check out our page on YouTube and all the audio platforms. And now, Aniket, 85th minute goal against Osasuna. So, you talk about impact and you talk about the importance. Rafinha is, suddenly had fallen down the pecking order behind Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati, where we talked about this like in previous episode.
Mhm. Mhm.
Clearly you can see his importance in the club, in the team.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, I want to add one more thing about Frankie de Jong here. Like, this is what is expected from a center back at Barcelona. We have said it ample number of times that the game in the Barcelona style game starts from the center back. So the goalkeeper passes the ball to the center backs, and from there the game starts to progress. And this is what the vision of the player should be like, which player is where and where is he taking the run. And that's a great example set by Frankie de Jong, who is not a center back, but he set a good example for our youngsters. Eric Garcia, Christensen, they could learn a lot from this past. Like, this is how the vision of the game should be. So I just want to mention that one. Uh, Almost in 94th minute, there was a surprise for all of us in the game, and it was Gavi this time who almost saved the goal and saved the day for Barcelona and got those 2 points, important 2 points for Barcelona. Monster block from Gavi in 94th minute, saved 2 points for Barcelona. Man, this boy is special. No other words for him. He came on the pitch in 84th minute and he created magic, magical save in 94th minute. 10-man Barcelona versus 12-man Osasuna. Yes, the 12th man being the referee Gil Manzano. And yes, Barcelona win this game. For sure, Xavi deserves this win, and for sure, Barcelona players and the management team and the coaching staff need some praise for this win against Osasuna.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly explained by you and mentioned by you. Uh, we as a club, fans, manager, the staff, players, like first team players, squad players, everyone, even the youngsters, they wanted a magical win like this, in their
Mhm.
bank, because this exactly is what was missing from that Barcelona's all those humiliations when we talk about Roma, when we talk about Liverpool, when we talk about Bayern 4 or 5 times. I have even lost count how many times we have lost to Bayern now. Eintracht Frankfurt and Inter, and you talk. There's a long list. Uh,
Yep.
these kind of games, of course, Osasuna is not at the level of Liverpool and Bayern. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that there's a challenge in front of you, and the players know how to get out of this challenge.
Mm.
So this is an important thing. It's very easy to score the first goal and then the second and the third goal and then get relaxed, But it's hard to let's say concede a goal or two, lose a player or to either to an injury or get sent off due to a red card and then come back. So these kind of games mentally help the players to go ahead and fight. A brilliant game from Barcelona, and actually, just to mention one more thing is uh, an anticlimactic but dramatic finish from PK, in his career, because we had discussed in the last episode, PK's last game was supposed to be against Osasuna. I mean, of course, he played his last home game as a captain against Almeria at Camp Nou, and he got a brilliant reception. The Barca legend. But today, today I've been against the against Osasuna on 8th of November. In of course he was sitting on the bench, and there was a controversial decision or couple of decisions from Gil Manzano. As soon as there was like first half whistle, he went to Gil Manzano, said a lot of things to him. Of course, if we say those things right now, our video will be deleted. So of course we cannot say those things. But he fought like a Barca captain, and that's
Yeah.
his message. That's his
Yeah.
message to everyone. It's like he will come back, and he will come back strong, and Barca DNA is him, and he is Barca DNA. So uh, from Gil Manzano, I thought it's a poor decision to send him off because he was not playing, and of course he was emotional. He was saying something, but it was his last game, and of course a legend of the game, he deserves a better sent off rather than being clearly sent off due to a red card. Poor decision from Gil Manzano, but yeah, we cannot we are not surprised to see his his attitude, because we have seen that for time and time again. So yeah, but a brilliant win, and I think we will cherish this hopefully for this season when we win that La Liga.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing win. And this win will definitely boost confidence of many players.
Yeah, this win made sure that Barca were 5 points ahead of Real Madrid. Of course,
Mm.
Madrid had a game in their hand, but of course, Madrid against Cadiz at Bernabeu 1-1. It was a close game. I wish Cadiz had scored one more to drop to enable Madrid drop two more points, but they didn't. They won the game. So before Barca players or Barca as a club, they will go to the World Cup. Barca won't go to the World Cup, but Barca will see the World Cup off with a with with a lead of 2 points and top of the club, the top of the table. My bad. And let's see. Let's hope that at the end of at the end of the season, we see the same table, the same familiar positions.
Yeah,
Okay.
Barca leading with 5 points, a clear lead for now, and let's see how this continues.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, like now the lead is 2 points because Madrid already won. But still, going with a lead of 2 points is not bad. So let's move to the next segment of the game of the episode. My bad, TAB man of the match, and it was a difficult TAB man of the match for us to decide because there were many players who worked or who fought hard to for this win. One of the winner is of course Frankie De Jong, for his defensive role, great understanding on the pitch to find Rafinha, and clearly, old, as we talked about, the old Jordi Alba, the old De Jong is back, and the old De Jong can do wondrous things, and I hope that he can continue. There were many contentions, as I just mentioned. Of course, one was the Rafinha to score that beautiful goal. One was Jordi Alba, who was constantly providing that, those crosses and that, threat on the left wing when Lewandowski was sent off and Ferran was, playing more as you mentioned, 4-for-1. So Ferran was playing as a
Mm.
striker. So it was Lewandowski, it was Jordi Alba who was, doing that attacking front from the left wing. So great game from him. Also Alonso, great defensive game, and only one thing he missed was not his fault because he was clearly fouled. So a great game from him as well. Pedri, amazing to score that goal, but it was a hard fought man of the match award for De Jong. Congratulations to De Jong.
I completely agree with Shubham, whatever you said. Frankie de Jong deserves this man of the match. And yeah, it was a difficult one to decide whom should we announce man of the match for this game. everyone, like each and every player in this squad, made sure that Barcelona would win this game, and they did. Quite happy about that, and yeah, that's really a good decision. Frankie De Jong getting man of the match.
So let's move on to the next segment, which is TAB ratings. Aniket, can you please tell us your ratings for this game?
Yeah. So Ferran Torres get a score of 7, Lewandowski get a score of 3, Dembele 6, Pedri 7.5, Busquets, a surprising game for Busquets, gets a score of 3, Frankie De Jong 8.5. You already mentioned about Frankie De Jong, his doings in these games and everything. Jordi Alba gets a score of 7.5. He was running on that left flank, uh, attacking, defending. You say him, and Jordi Alba was there to do. Alonso also get a score of 7.5. Being out of position, this man really performed good. As you mentioned, that foul, I mean, foul could, that's not his fault actually that he was fouled. That's why no points deducted from him. Still gets 7.5. Christensen gets 7. Balde gets 7.5. I mean, I could still remember that shot from Balde. It was an incredible shot from the right wing. Not his job to do to take the shot, but he was there on the pitch from attacking from that right wing. Gets a score of 7.5. Again, out of position player, but performed perfectly well. And as I could believe, as I could remember, he also featured in that right back position in some of the teams, right?
Yeah. I also don't remember. I think who scored.
It was last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. I think he featured in the last week team of the week.
yeah.
In DSEN team of the week.
Oh, yeah,
And also,
DSEN La Liga team of the week, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
this week, I mean, for this game, for this week, like the match day 14 week, he was featured, or he featured in the team of the week by whoscore.com. So
Okay.
19 years of age, playing wrong position, wrong footed, but still making team of the week.
Still amazing feat for this player. 7.5. Brilliant game for Balde, and Ter Stegen, for those amazing saves, get a score of 8 this time. Interesting scoreline. The legendary players getting scoreline of 3, but youngsters and some of the how can I say this, players playing out of their position, yeah, getting a good score of 7.5 or 8. Interesting ratings, but this is what the ratings look like for this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with your ratings, and I hope that Busquets can improve, or at least Xavi drops him, because I you could clearly see what energy Gavi brought after when he was brought in at 74th minute. Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope. So let's move on to the next segment of the episode, which is TA penalty shootout. In this segment, as you all know, we discuss about transfer rumors and or the administrative stuff happening around Barcelona. So I'll start with mine. Barcelona have already made the decision not to take Serginho Dest back to the club or to the team once his loan to Milan ends at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think we don't need anyone for that position. Our players are performing quite well in that position, so let's see how it goes. Another one coming is a good news from Samuel Umtiti, that he had given his best performance for Leeds yesterday. He was called giant, insurmountable, leader, and wall were some of the praises which read in the Italian media outlets.
Yeah, it was very surprising, to be honest, but let's hope that he can continue with his form, and probably we can sell him, to manage some profits.
Yeah.
Barcelona are lining up a January move for Ilkay Gundogan, whose contract at Manchester City expires in 2023. I mean, only I could make a list of all the players whose contracts are expiring. We are lining up. Wow, it would be an infinite list, to be honest.
I think it would be a surprising January window for Barcelona. They are lining up many players, and let's let's just, I don't know. I'm speechless. The time will tell what is kept for Barcelona in the future. The next one is coming in an interesting fixture. Barcelona and Arsenal are in negotiations for a friendly game in December. I would be quite amazed to watch this game, Xavi versus Mikel Arteta. So let's just hope that they really go through this negotiation and we could watch that game in
Uh,
December.
that would be interesting. The two young maestros coming against each other.
Mind
Uh,
you, both of them got some training from Pep Guardiola, so I am
yeah,
interested to see
yeah.
that aspect as well.
It will be an interesting game for the master to see
Yeah,
who of his disciples are doing the better job.
true.
Anyway, moving along, Sergio Roberto will be back for FC Barcelona's next game against Espanyol. So good news. Let's hope that he can continue his good form.
Alex Collado could return to FC Barcelona in January given Elche's dramatic situation.
Yeah, Elche, as you mentioned, the position they are having, the situation they're having is really dramatic because they have been able to secure like 4 points in last 14 games. They have already sacked, I think, two managers. In like I don't know 4 months. So yeah, let's hope that Alex Colado can come back and hopefully he can be loaned onto another club.
Yeah.
So as you know, he can achieve those good minutes.
Mm.
Xavi Hernandez is absolutely delighted with Frankie De Jong, as you know, as we discussed in the analysis of the game, and because and who has already you can see who has assumed more leadership and more personality in the team, and which is showing.
Yeah. Good news coming from Ansu Mane's camp. Ansu Fati started crying when he found out that he was in Luis Enrique's football squad. According to his entourage, the injury stage has now closed. Physically, they say he is very well, whereas there is a heartbreak for Alex Balde.
Yeah, Balde could have. I wish Balde could have secured a spot in this World Cup, but of course
Yeah.
he's just 19 years old, so he'll get many more chances. And right now, I can understand with I can understand Luis Enrique's decision because he already has Gaia and Alba, so there is no
Mm.
need for like a third left back. So yeah. But let's say just let's be happy for Ansu Fati, as he was really concerned about securing that position, and he was and let's hope that he can get those good minutes under Luis Enrique's camp, you know team, as we discussed, like because Xavi is not giving him 90 minutes right now, and let's hope that when he comes back perfectly. Barcelona are close to achieving one of their prime objectives, which is renewing Alejandro Balde's contract until 2027.
Barcelona could soon recover the idea of changing their logo after failing to do so in 2018. I am not so happy about this, but let's see how it goes.
Mm. Yeah, I'm neutral. I have no depends on what logo it is. If it's good enough, it's bad enough. I don't know what opinion to take right now. So time will tell.
Yeah.
The signing of a centre back is on standby, given Marcos Alonso's good performances on that position, and Barcelona board are really happy with him, and they're also offering him like a 2-year contract extension. So let's go. Let's see how it goes. When we are talking about centre backs.
Well, quite happy about that. We are not signing any center backs. We already have some in our camp, and they are performing quite well as of now. We are still waiting for Araujo to be back 100%. So if he comes back and joins the team as center back again, there would be many center backs at the
Yeah,
club.
I mean
So
we
I
have,
think
as you mentioned, we have Araujo, Kunde, Christensen, Eric Garcia,
Garcia,
Alonso, and
yeah,
the youngster Chadi. So six centre backs, and of course
two
we
position
know
fighting
like
for two
yeah,
positions.
are
It does not
enough.
make any sense to get a new one. So a good decision, I would say. And Marcos Alonso. Surprisingly, he's doing amazing in that position.
Yeah.
So if something comes up like this, Araujo is injured, Kunde is injured as well, Christensen injured, Eric Garcia not playing well, then you have an option of Marcos
Mm.
Alonso playing in that position. So a
Yeah.
good decision, I would say for now.
Mm.
Quite happy with that.
Yeah, and also especially if he's doing well as a centre back, he might continue to do so, or to at least to get more chances. If Jordi Alba is having a good role on the left back, because
Yeah.
if Jordi Alba is playing as playing well on the right left back position, then he can easily be Balde's backup player. And if we make a good investment on right back position in the winter, depending upon how it goes,
Mm.
for whom we already have Sergio Roberto as a backup, I think Marcos Alonso can be a good fifth centre back.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree with you.
So let's move on to the last segment, which is like a surprise segment today. But we need to discuss about Manchester United. So let's make like a very small preview. This is not a preview because, of course, we are planning, like we are lining up a detailed preview with Manchester United fans and clear people who are more focused on United game and how everything is going. But let's quickly discuss about United because it's thing that we need to discuss. It has been a difficult team for us in the past. And Aniket, what do you think about it?
So as I mentioned in the last podcast, like I was quite skeptical of getting these three teams, Manchester United, PSV, and AS Roma. But whatever we say in this podcast or whatever teams we get, they are not difficult to play against. So this time again, we get what we did not expect. It is Manchester United against Barcelona in the Europa League again this year. So let's see what we could do in this game. Just some facts about Manchester United in the English Premier League. They are fifth with 26 points behind Spurs, but United have one game in hand. And the other thing is that they finished the group stage with 5 wins after losing their opening game in this competition. And they were placed second place in this group. So an interesting team this year. Uh, as we mentioned that they are playing Europa League, they did not qualify for the next round of Champions League as well. So not playing quite well, but they still have Ronaldo in there. And when he sees that Barcelona T-shirt, he gets rogue. And I don't know. I, I have no, I have nothing to say how Ronaldo would perform in this game. He has not been doing well in the past games for Manchester United, but against Barcelona, you never know.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts, Shubham, about Ronaldo, about Manchester United? Like, just tell me a little bit more about Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, it will be a difficult game, as we had said in the previous podcast that we wouldn't want United as the preferred club against to play against. Uh, as I said, it's a difficult game, or it will be a difficult game because Eric Ten Hag, their new manager, is just settling in his new job. They have like a star-studded team, with Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane, Antony, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial, Eriksen, Casemiro, De Jong, Martinez. So yeah, a great squad to be honest, and always difficult versus English teams. Due to their speed and their counter-attacking techniques, and the game that they normally play is not very suitable to the Spanish clubs.
Yeah.
The most important thing which I'm a bit skeptical of is Eric Ten Hag knows Ajax game too well, and then that connection that Ajax and Barcelona have regarding the game. You started with Cruyff, so yeah, I'm just skeptical because Eric Ten Hag might exactly know how Barca gonna line up, Barca gonna play,
Yeah.
the maybe
Yeah.
to break those passes, the triangles. It will be hard for Barcelona. And as you mentioned, Ronaldo is always a threat whenever it comes to Ronaldo against Barcelona in a knockout stage. At a knockout stage, it will be hard. But as I just mentioned, we'll do like a detailed preview very, very soon. When the World Cup starts anyway, we don't have any club match to analyze. So we'll have we have like a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. So just stay tuned. So moving along, I think next game that we are going to talk about, the full analysis for the game is going to be on 31st December. Barcelona make a comeback in the La Liga versus Espanyol at Camp Nou. So let's hope that we can continue our form and we can continue our position top of the table.
I mean, you very well said about Eric Ten Hag. I am a little bit scared as he would know exactly what is going on in Xavi's mind. So let's be a little bit careful. I would be waiting for our detailed preview with Manchester United. So Manchester United fans. So let's just stick it to that. And the next game would be 31st December. So until then, just make sure you like our content, comment on our video, share it with your friends. If you have any suggestions, please write it down in the comments below. If you are listening to us on any of the audio platforms, make sure to subscribe us, like our content, comment on it, and that's it. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and Ghana if you're listening from India. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, press that like button, and for Sabasa.
Yeah, for Sabasa, Aniket. So good night to all the listeners and viewers, and good night to you as well.
Good night. Bye bye.
Barça, Barça, Barça.